everyone, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Jane Schilderhose, and I'm honored to be able to be here and speak in front of all of you. This is a huge honor, not just for me, but for my family as well. I want to thank my parents for accompanying me, and everyone in this room for helping me to get my life-changing surgery. I've been living with scoliosis since I was 12 years old. I was in Disneyland with my family, and my mom noticed that my back looked wrong, with my rib cage popping out of my back and creating a lump noticeable when I was wearing a t-shirt. I didn't mind. I brushed my mom off when she would tell me to stand up straighter because I really didn't feel like anything was wrong. Standing up straight would make the lump sort of go away, but not for long. Eventually, my mom took me to our family doctor, and he took one look at my back before telling me I had scoliosis. I knew what scoliosis was. I'd heard it in movies, but I didn't know anyone with the condition, much less extremely severe scoliosis. All of the cases I'd heard of could be fixed with a back brace. Our family doctor sent me in for x-rays and told us about how the angles of my spine would dictate how bad it was and what treatment was necessary. I didn't want to wear a back brace. I was going into high school the next year, and I didn't want to get bullied more than I had to. But the other option of surgery was horrifying. The x-rays came back and my family doctor told us that I had severe scoliosis. We were referred to the orthopedic doctors at Children's Hospital in Vancouver, and we went to our first appointment 6 months later, and I took the first of many spinal x-rays. They told us our options, of which there was only one. Spinal fusion was the only surgery on the table because I was too old for tethering surgery and my spinal curve was too severe for a back brace. It was scary and uncomfortable, sitting in a hospital bed in two uncomfortable gowns and waiting for hours to talk to a doctor. I don't blame the Vancouver Children's Hospital. It was obviously very busy, but in that moment I felt very, very alone. The future of my health was uncertain, and when we finally spoke to a doctor, he estimated that I would get surgery in spring of that year. Even that was shocking to us, but we left the hospital feeling hopeful. Even though I was scared, I was really happy to hear that I'd get 3 weeks off school. But soon we started to lose hope. We would go back to the hospital for more x-rays that just showed us that my condition was getting worse and worse. I told anyone who asked that I was getting surgery in the spring, but spring came and went with my spine curving more each visit. My position on the list of people who were scheduled to get surgery moved at a glacial pace. Over the 2 years I was on the list, I only moved up 2 spaces from number 35 to 33 on a list of 90 people. It was incredibly alienating and confusing for our family to talk to my surgeon and even higher-ups at the Children's Hospital and have them tell us that they understood what we were going through, that they knew what the problem was, but still having nothing change. My mom went to the media out of desperation. We spoke to reporters and they took pictures of me and my dad in our backyard, and basically overnight people I'd talked to, like relatives, neighbors, and friends' families would tell me that they saw me on the news. It was great to finally shed a light on what we'd been going through for the past 2 years, but part of me was still pessimistic. I didn't want to skip the line. I wanted the hospital to fix the problem so I could get my surgery fair and square, but I didn't know if the newfound media attention would be able to do that. After the CBC story, we got no response from the BC Children's Hospital, but we did hear from the Shriners in Burnaby through a reporter. My mom phoned them and they encouraged her to get in contact with the hospital, and they were asking us to fly out for a consultation as soon as possible. When we first flew out to Portland, I was really nervous. I didn't know what to expect, but we checked into the hotel they recommended, and the next day we went in for consultation. They made me and my mom feel so comfortable. Everyone who talked to us completely knew what they were doing. They made everything clear to us, and what was going to happen to me today, where I had to go, who was going to be talking to me, and why. They made us feel welcome, and right after we came back to Vancouver, the Shriners were calling us to set a date for my surgery. I never thought I could get surgery that fast. After 2 years on a waiting list with no end in sight, the Shriners were a miracle for me and my family. The day of my surgery came quick, and soon enough I was back on a plane to Portland for my surgery. I was scared, but I never doubted the competence of my surgeons. When the day came that I was meeting everyone who was going to be operating on me, monitoring my spinal cord, administering the anesthesia, I felt a bit better knowing exactly what was going to happen while I was under. Not only was my before surgery care great, but so was my after surgery care. Now, I don't remember most of it, but I really enjoyed the combined hour I was awake over 5 days. Seriously though, my recovery couldn't have gone smoother. Thanks to the kindness of my surgeon and all of my nurses, I was as comfortable as I could be with the circumstances, and the staff made sure my mom was comfortable too. It's been over a year since my surgery, and I feel great. Often when I'm thinking about how awesome it is to not be in pain all the time, I think about how if it wasn't for the kindness and generosity of the Shriners, I'd still be in pain today. I'm endlessly grateful I'm still not waiting for surgery, and that I can put this part of my life behind me. Without the Shriners, there would be no end in sight for the constant discomfort I was in, and the future of my health and my mobility would be grim. Compared to my treatment at the Children's Hospital, the Shriners' speed and competence is absolutely shocking. I really can't stress enough how amazing it is to not be in pain and to have this time to share my story and my gratitude. I'm so happy to be here today, and thank you all so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll wait.
It's good, Jane.
A brave young lady. You'll note that for those of you who don't know what scoliosis is, it's the curvature of the spine like this. And you'll notice when you saw Jane walking across the stage there, she's got the straight back. So.
And she grew 2 inches.
Oh yeah. She discovered that after the surgery, she had grown 2 inches. What a marvelous story. Thank you so much, Jane.
Thank you.
And thank you to the mom and dad who brought her up and took action on this when she needed.
Thank you.
Congratulations. By the way, at this time, Mom or would your dad want to say a couple words?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not prepared.
Go.
Dad's going to say a couple words.
Jane, you did so well. Thank you. She wrote it all herself.
Hi. My name is Neil Childerhose. I'm Jane's dad, and great speech, by the way. Well done. Yeah, when we were going through this, it was really hard on our family, and we really had nowhere to turn. And the Shriners really stepped in and did a great job for us. So we're eternally grateful, and it's so nice to see everyone out here tonight, and thank you very much.
See what I mean about tall people?
See what I mean about tall people? You did great.
About what? What did you say?
Thanks, Neil. I appreciate that.
Oh, okay.
Donna,
Did you feel good?
you're kind of up.
You did great.